Good evening, Speed Gaming, and welcome to the last of these qualifier presentations for the Speed Gaming Live 2020 Final Fantasy Randomizer. This is number 10 of 10, and then after this, we are going to be heading pretty much in just a couple days or so right into the tournaments themselves. I am your co-host, DarkMooneyX, joined in the booth by Danny3883. Danny, how's it going over there?
Pretty good. I'm excited. We've been 10 weeks in the making to get here. The SGLIVE starts next week. It's a very exciting time.
It will be quite exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing the mess that we have caused for our players when they actually get into the pod flags and everything else. So, since we're at the 10th point while we're waiting for the players to start up, let's go over just a little bit of what is going to happen from this point forward. We have our players. I'm not actually certain, Danny, how many players that we have at this point, but we have a chunk of players. What they've been doing here through these qualifiers, and then, behind the scenes as well for those that don't want to actually have to race and just want to let the chips fall where they may. These races are all qualifiers for our pods. We're going to have pods. People will race among the various players in the pods, and then the pods will lead to brackets. So this is basically like step one of a three-step process that is all going to play out from this point forward basically over the course of a week. And it sounds more complicated than it is, but it should be pretty fun to watch. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this, Danny. I think it's going to be a blast. I think these flags are the easiest that we have right now. That's for sure.
Yeah, these are definitely, a lead into what we're going to have next week. Next week's flags definitely step it up a bit.
Canaria, gold bracelets, nice to see. Wall, mute, harm, Satan, blind, lit, confused. Wow, Danny, you rolled them a good one.
You would seem I sure did. I rolled them something. Remind me to apologize to everyone later.
So, I mean, the white magic is meh. I think they probably were better off with just, a red mage and two black mages, but which we see Sir Lincolot had. But lit isn't a bad spell for just taking on Garland, and also confuse. Like those two. That's about it.
Yeah, confuse is good. If nothing else, maybe take like an invite with it and just let them confuse and beat themselves up. Right outside Canary. At least then you get a level or two out of it before you do anything else. Should work on Garland. Confuse some pirates. I mean, it's not the spell you want, but if it's the spell you got, you can make it work. While in white magic is really good to have, unfortunately, it is white mage, white wizard locked.
There you go.
But I mean, that's only a problem for, I think, one of our runners.
Ooh, Flame Sword.
Or two of our runners.
Flame Sword's actually a nice pickup for the early to mid game. We've got... Yeah, Cheesenator's rocking the Black Mage, and I think in general I wouldn't hate that. And honestly, Wall is only really important if they don't find any ribbons. If they get ribbons, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But yeah, I think... Normally, I'm not a big fan of doing a grind of imps outside. I think probably for me, I'd just go test Garland. I like Cheesenator's party, honestly, for this, with the running and the punching. But I'd probably go and test Garland, see if I can get him to kill himself with, punching himself to death with Confuse. And then, if that really doesn't work, maybe an imp grind at the start, just to get a couple extra charges.
The one thing that taking like a level or two with imps like outside of Canary before heading to Temple of Fiends would be you only have lit at level 1 and black magic, but if you have another level 2 and you get there, you've got more cast of it, which you'll make, if nothing else works on Garland, you've at least got that extra cast of it that might be able to get him down. With these parties that have multiple black magic casters, it's not the worst idea.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that. I think maybe my plan would be, instead of saving at the Temple of Fiends like I normally like to, maybe just try and trudge right in immediately. Try and get Garland to die with Lits and Confuses, and if he doesn't die from that, do the imp grind up front just so I have the extra charges.
Okay, well, we've got Link getting through Garland. We have the rock. What's the rod from the king? And we have a ship from Sarah. Yep, the rod from the king, ship from Sarah, Luffy, and Sir Lincolot have both got through Garland and gotten those items. Cheese is working on it, and Fried Teeth said he had enough I don't know if it was his party or just what happened, because it looks like the same party, but I did see a reroll. So maybe wiped without saving?
Yeah, I didn't see. But
Yeah.
ship opens up at least the rest of Circle C. That's going to help them for their exploration, and maybe we'll get some good magic at level 2. We're about to find out.
Oh, I hope so.
Fade! Hey! Fade available to everyone.
See? Now maybe nobody will be as mad at me later.
And you gave them Warp! Like, I mean,
that's a lot of good stuff in Black Magic. Zap and Flake, both pretty good. Quad X, I'm a big fan of Quad X. It has saved my butt in many of fiend fights, and more Warps are real good. Plus the Fade at level 2, your Red Mage, White Mage can both learn it. Your Fighter can learn it after class promotion. So see, level 2 redeemed me. Everybody love me after this, please.
Yeah, no,
White Magic was a fluke.
Between the Fade and the Warp alone, that is plenty right there. Link-a-Lot going and doing the thing that I would do, which is just go and fight the pirates, and you've got Fade, so pirates will die. Hell, Confuse would probably have killed them because they just punch each other. Not a big deal. But from here, we get to see what Bicky has, and that's pretty much going to define where we go from here. The Floater! Tiani, did you roll us a Jet Seed?
Well, maybe.
I like your non-committal answer there. Maybe. We won't know for certain yet.
If it's not, it gives me wiggle room.
Yeah. So we've got Marsh Cave on the table. We've got Earth Cave on the table, both of which are accessible, both of which, as far as I remember, are incentivized. And with that rod in my hand as well, and Fades in my pocket, I kind of feel like both those dungeons are on the table, even without knowing that the meta kind of supports just going to those dungeons. I think you go to Marsh. I think you then go to Elfland with all the money you've earned, and you go, like, buy all the spells you want, make sure that there's not a key item in there you need. If there's a key item you can turn in from there, you go turn them in, and then you go to Earth Cave and you do the same thing, and you kill Lich in the process.
Yeah, you are correct. Marsh and Earth are both incentivized, but those are good plays. You have a few levels, and you have, even if it's a bit of level 2 magic that'll get you through. You said, like, Marsh with Warp, you can get your item out of there, you can warp out. And doing Earth, even at really early low levels, like if you get your Canal, which we're still looking for, and you get out, you've got level 2 Quake too. So
yeah, if the enemies
are not looking so bad.
No, it's not so bad. If the enemies are kind in Marsh and in Earth, which may be asking a lot, but it does happen sometimes. Wow, Link is just getting destroyed by these ogres. Yeah, wow! Sent all the way back to Provoca. Sorry, Link. Anyway, if the enemies are kind, I think you could do both the full Marsh dive with warps, and then go and just completely full clear, like, Earth as much as you want, and get out and have a crystal in hand and not have to worry about it anymore. And that's 2 key items plus that are just right there for you. That's easy in my books.
Get it into Elfland. Ice.
Yep. Lock 2. I like both those.
Uh-huh.
Life at 3rd slot. That's learnable for basically everyone you care about.
That is Red Mage, White Mage learnable, and Knight learnable upon class promotion.
Yup. That right there. That's basically almost everything you need for Marsh. You've got the spells you want.
Yeah. I would have been very unhappy when I saw level 1 magic. But my attitude would have turned a big turnaround as soon as I saw level 2 and then level 3. Especially with the party I would have ran for these, which is... I normally run fighter double red black. So it'd be good magic and I'd be happy.
Oh, totally. Totally. This is the kind of pack you like to see, or starting magic you like to see all told for a red mage. Except for, level 1. But really, Confuse has its uses. It can be used against Carry 1. It can actually cause her to punch herself for a while, and then you don't have to do any work. And the other one that we had was Mute. And while Mute is a hard spell to get to land, if you can get it to land on like a particularly spell-happy Tiamat or Chaos, it can completely dull any threat you have from them. Everything except Lamp has its uses. So it looks like we're hanging out around town a bit, all except for Cheesenator, who is doing the early march dive. Just as I said, and you can see he's not even bothering to check most of the treasure chests here, because gear is not his concern with that black belt.
Yeah, in a flag set like this where we have 0 lose, having a black belt definitely can speed things up because like you don't need to really check for chests. And most things you're going to want for your mages to wear, you know, pro ring, gold bracelet, which pro rings we saw in Elfland, you can simply buy. So
yeah, we already know where gold bracelets are. Those were at Conaria. We already know where pro rings are. As you said, those were at Elfland. We've already got some decent magic to start with. When you finally do a grind, you're going to get the gold to buy anything else, spells and items-wise you need. And the black belt is best when they're naked. That's just the long and the short of it. So at some point, you drop your party down to 2 characters, the red mage and one of the red mages and a black belt, and you just go and you find a tile and you grind once you have enough key items under your belt. The benefit of these flags is that we have like the same amount of key items or incentive items as locations or something thereabouts. It's enough that you don't ever actually have to go looking for key items. So that's prime black belt material as far as that is concerned.
while that is true, I don't normally run a black belt too often, and when I do, I almost always probably put something on it, but we'll just say that's because my black belt is modest and not because I'm really bad at black belts.
It's a shy boy.
Yeah.
At a certain point, though... Oh, the canal. Well, that opens us up so we can go do Earthgate. See, that was what we were missing.
Yep.
Yep. Apparently, the arachnids, by the way, have thunder.
Oh.
What is it with us and seeds where arachnids have something nasty?
I'm going to blame the Duck Derby seat day 4 seed from January that somehow just destroyed me in ways that caused me to roll really bad seeds with arachnids.
Blaze arachnids. Get your hot spiders right here. It's... Yeah, you and I, we are cursed with terrible spiders. That's just out the long and the short of it now.
If it makes anybody who plays a seed I roll feel any better, I do the same thing to myself when I practice.
I've seen you get punished by the spiders too. They it's like you just as much. Yeah. So Cheesenator off to an early lead simply because of the fact that, you know, he doesn't have to worry about much of anything. He got into that dungeon, he got out, he's not checking any chest except what's relevant. Has his canal and can go off now that he has a little bit of money. The trick is going to be, he's going to be in an early lead for a little while, and then he's going to get slowed down when he finally decides to do his grind. And then you'll see in the back half, he'll probably start speeding up and catching back up as the punch train comes a-callin'.
Correctly, Puff in chat, that double dip of Earth to get the canoe, it's going to be fun. We got the Rod and Quake at level 2. We ain't double dipping Earth. We're going to try and single dip it and hopefully not die to arachnids a bunch, and then we're going to get out and it's going to be fine.
Now, Tech can correct me, but if I am not mistaken, I think past the first 2 floors, the spiders aren't really a concern anymore. I'm trying to remember if I see them, if they actually show up in the deeper, like, 3-4 floors.
I've gotten them right before Lich, and
Have you?
we had
Okay.
a race last week. Don't remember the exact race. It might have been an SGLIVE qualifier.
Actually, I
where
remember that now.
Yeah, where I think it was Luffy White, 2 very unpleasant arachnids right before Lich.
Right before they ambushed with, like, damage poison or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so, note to everyone out there, spiders are evil, but as someone with actual arachnophobia, I already knew that.
Typically, my thoughts on spiders are, if you leave me be, I'll leave you be. But that is never the case in FFR, so...
leaving me be means not coming into my house, but that's extended to all insects. If you get in my house, you're on my terms now. Also, for the record, thundercats are great. Thunder arachnids are bad.
So we've got Cheese now headed out of the inner sea. Headed toward Melmond. Doing a little pacing on the sidewalk. And
Life 2.
in slot 1, which is also Red Mage and White Mage learnable.
Wow. I think I saw Lightning 3 in Viz. He went very fast with the spells because he doesn't really have the money to buy it. But...
Yeah, Life 2 was top slot in 5 in Viz. I think it was in Viz, not in Viz 2 was second slot. Lit 3 was also, that was in 5, top slot, so both Black Mage and Red Mage learnable.
All the chat saying it was in Viz 2.
Yeah.
So, nice to have.
Yep.
Second slot, though, that's what? Is that Red Wizard?
Second slot, yeah, Red Wizard learnable.
Okay. So, I mean, eventually you get to have it. I wouldn't complain about that with, like, Cheesenator's case where he has 2 Red Wizards. That's something to keep both of them up for a little while between those Life 2s and those Invis charges. You're gonna want a few charges or a few castings on each of those characters before you decide to let either of them lay down on the ground.
Yeah, like Black Magic getting into further levels after 1 has been pretty good. And then you add in the really good White Magic we've gotten so far. This is really a good Red Mage seed.
It is. The downside is we're verging into level 6, 7, 8 magics, and we have yet to see fasts or temper.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, end of the day, if you really are that worried about it, you just, get your black belt up to 50 and they'll probably be fine. But, plus you have, like, lock charges, so you can at least slow the enemy down enough that your black belts can start hitting them. But ideally, well, that's exit Cure 3, and... Okay! So temper and
faster temper.
Yeah, temper and fast are like level 7 and level 8 now, guys. Black belts or Black Mage is starting to look kind of useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That he is. I'd be real happy with my fighter double red black party right now because my red mages would be real useful and that black mage may be like 100% necessary. So.
Yeah, if I'm just sitting there as Cheese, I'm sitting there going, man, everything about this spell, this magic for the most part, I like, but I really wish there was a way for me to get a black mage in here instead of like, and then my brain would just sit there going, instead of what? Because, like, for the way his party is composed, you want that thief to do the running so you don't have to worry about too much while you're, like, digging through the game. But the black mage's running is not as good as the thieves.
So the Crescent Lake from Sir Lancelot, who got the chime from the sages. So Mirage Sky area is now halfway open. We still need a cube, and we're still looking for a canoe to get ourselves in the air. Which leaves us either the Earth incentive or a vendor item in Onrak that could lead to something that leads to canoe, which...
Yeah.
Or is just the canoe, so...
Yeah, we're pretty much down to it having to be either right here or at Onrak, because there's really not very many places left. And that's the slab.
It's not Earth.
So, I hope you guys like sailing, because we're going to be doing some sailing.
Yeah, because that slab at some point will turn into something more than likely useful, because even with the 2 items we have that are incentivized, our gear is the Matza and a ribbon, that slab is not very useful at the moment.
Yeah, we're not able to get to Onrak because we don't have that canoe. We're not able to get to Ice Cave because we don't have that canoe. Can't check the Sky incentive because we don't have the cube. Can't check the Sea incentive because we don't have Oxyale. And the only place I can have anything at that point that we haven't already checked is on-rack shop with a key item for sale, which, now that I think about it, I don't think the canoe can be in a shop, so...
It would have to be an item that leads to the canoe.
Yeah, so like crown or crystal or herb or, and the one that I like the thought of, a cube that then leads to Oxyale at Sky that then forces you to go into sea to get the canoe.
I would not speak such things aloud.
I like the worst case scenario.
I'm gonna say that it is an item that is totally affordable and that leads to canoe.
Leads directly. I mean, that's the nice way.
And then you're gonna be right. And that's just how it's gonna end up.
Yeah, yeah. As DVS and 7 also notes, the only place you can get to right now basically is on-rack. That's where we're at, and that's what we're looking for. So it's to go see what is for sale at on-rack. So we are going to see, yeah, if it's like Oxyale at on-rack and Oxyale leads to Cube, or if it's Cube at on-rack and then Cube leads back to Oxyale, that's a lot of sailing that they have to do. Ideally, it's just going to be like herb or crystal.
And at the 19-minute, 20-ish second minute mark, Jesus lit his first orb and exited Earth.
Yeah,
Lips here today.
As Greg notes, no arachnids, and that was such a fast Lich fight, I didn't even see it.
I saw it. Can confirm it was quick.
I mean, it's Lich. Lich is Lich, and Lich, even like in level 1 and or version 1 and version 2, Lich just doesn't have a lot. He needs to spend some time, like, on a grind tile, really buffing himself up.
For those who haven't heard lately, if you want a Lich that's a little more than just a speed bump, as we call him, we got a new flag for that.
Yeah, Lich's Revenge was a Halloween flag crafted by our dev, Wildham, and it is amazing. If you guys haven't seen it before, I recommend you go hit our YouTube channel and watch the Halloween hardcore match and watch all the delightful fun that we had that night watching that flag play out. Fright Teeth about to get their chime. Cheesenator following suit, gonna get their chime soon after they do a little resupply right here. And Sir Link is heading into Earth Cave, hoping he gets to be the next to get a key item that's going to be useful and can take out Lich. And unfortunately, that key item is going to be the slap. And now Luffy is doing likewise. Cheese grabs his chime, realizes he now gets to sail to on-rack. Slow mounting, he checks his key items, is like, that's not it. That's not it, right? Come on, guys. And now realizes he has to go down to on-rack. Question in chat about whether or not we've seen Brack yet. I don't believe we've seen Brack, so that is yet another spell that is at level 7 or level 8. Really unfortunate to fight Kraken and Tiamat without that.
Yeah, we definitely have not seen it. We had Bane at level 4, which makes those fights doable. Mm-hmm. More so. If our runners picked it up.
Bane.
We had the slots for it at 4, so
yeah.
It's one of those, if I don't have things that I consider better, and Bane is a pretty useful spell, especially if you haven't seen Brack yet, it's something I definitely would have picked up and been happy to have going into on-rack, so.
I agree, it's not bad. It's a good spell. It's not as accurate as Brack, so generally if I have a choice between the two, I take Brack, but in this particular instance, yeah, no, I agree with that. I had something else I was going to say, and now I've lost it.
Drum roll, what's our vendor item?
The Ruby! Which is not guaranteed to directly lead to the canoe. We still can be on a quest chain here.
Hope you like your boat, folks, because you're gonna be on it a bit today.
If I'm not mistaken, the Titan Trove itself is not incentivized. So that's
It
just
is not.
Huh?
It is not.
Yeah. So that's just going to lead us to Sarda, which I think the last time we commentated this, we had the Sarda special of Sarda guarding the floater. This time around, we could have the Sarda special of Sarda guarding the canoe. It's entirely possible.
It is very possible. For our runner's
It's in a
sake,
row, Sarda.
yeah,
I'm
so
sorry.
for our runner's sake, I hope it is, because then they can ditch the boat. Otherwise, like I said, I hope you folks are comfy, because you might be on it a little while.
Because there is every possibility this could lead to a long quest chain, as we were describing before, and I already see people in chat rooting for a long quest chain because they're evil like I am.
Not only rooting for like things that are going to lead to a quest chain, but just adding things to said quest chain that are just going to make it longer and longer.
They really just want to see our players sail for like the next half an hour.
It would seem like it.
Cheese is apparently grabbing some quick levels here off the power cycle, I think.
He checked the price of the ruby. I'm not 100% sure he had the money. Yeah.
There
I don't
it is.
think
Okay.
he had enough money for it. Because I saw him check it, but I didn't quite see how much money he had at the time.
Yeah, and he's getting enough money and stuff off of the Frost Giant Frostwolf pack that's just easily dying to what he has. That, yeah. I mean, they'll die to a Quad X. Dang.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're quad Xable, so that's definitely an easy grind. Yeah, that's what it was. He just needed money. It's pretty sure it's what it was, but with enough to spare to buy a house.
But he'll go hit the inn because it's probably cheaper. And he's off. Sailing, sailing away.
Link finding the X-Cal on Earth 4.
Yeah, that was what it was.
Yeah, it's not usable until class promotion, but it's definitely a sword that you can use on the in-game on these seats, and if he has it and hasn't gotten the Mazda from an incentive yet, it could be a time saver for him if he decides to use that instead of following a turn-in that gets him a Mazda at the end of the game.
Yeah, it's not a bad sword. It's not as good against Chaos as the Mazmoon generally, but it's a good sword all the same. I was going to mention he grabbed it earlier, and then we got distracted talking about other stuff. That was the thing I didn't remember. But it also he's grabbing it again, and I saw him have it earlier, so I'm guessing he got bounced out by spiders or something. Because he had to go back and grab it a second time. Those darn spooters.
So we have Link and Luffy about to take, practically holding hands on their way to take out Lich. Oh no, I can't watch not spiders. I'll watch Cheese and see what Sarda has.
Oh, we got the early Ice 3. The spooters are dying. And there it is, the Sarda special.
We got a canoe. We're headed to the air, folks.
Sarda special!
Visit Sarda for all your canoe needs.
So, if your hope was for Crown leading to a long chain leading to Canoe, we do have that for you. It's as long as you consider walking the overworld for a bit a long chain. Sir Link taking on Sir Lich. Sir Lich is dead. Long live Sir Lich.
And Luffy, just right before that, lit his Earth Orb. Link is now lit his Earth Orb. Brighteeth, seeing the Ruby and Onrak, has started his vendor money grind right outside, following the exact same thing Cheese did just a few minutes ago.
As others noted too, by the way, if you grab that X-Cal and are hoping to use it to buy the Ruby over in Onrak, once you get there, just remember, there is no weapon shop in Onrak. So you can't...
True.
Yeah. Just the game being that much more rude.
I've had that happen a few times. Like, stuff I could sell. would gladly sell if it got me the vendor item, and then it's just like, nope, because you can't sell nothing here. And then you have like a fight outside of there that's getting you no money, and it feels real bad to have to sail away from there, knowing that vendor item is your progression and you can't afford it.
She's in there going down, gonna do the long walk to Lufane, turn in that slob, and we can start collecting key items. He is in a position, yes, he needs key items so he can finish the game, but more importantly to him right now, he needs key items so he can do his grind, however that grind is going to be, whether tile grind on stationary or walking grind, whatever it is he's concerned with, he needs that. So, like, the key items are even more valuable to him than anything else. We could see the other players decide to take out dungeons in the process of doing their, like, key item collecting, just because they're on the path. But Cheesenator really needs to get the key items under his belt first, because the experience is most vital to him.
Yeah, that and with these flags, like we said before, you have no lose. So just going on a key item collecting mission makes a lot of sense. That way you know like what you still need to get and what, and as soon as you have all those, it makes it so much easier just to kind of fly through dungeons. You don't have to stop, you don't have to pick up anything, you can just stop, take out a fiend and go. You got the ribbon from Lufane, so somebody's got pretty hair. I'm assuming it was a life caster.
I mean, both his thief and his black belt have some pretty long hair. Actually, the red mages do too, but they're wearing hats, so yeah.
True.
Well.
However, those red mages cast life, so they're getting a ribbon on top of the hat, under the hat, and somewhere. But they're the ones getting it.
Flying away from the ordeals area, even though he has warp, decides he doesn't want to do that. Where are you going instead, Cheese? Where's the cheese, Cheese?
But nope. Say maybe buying bracelets, but no, those are pricey bracelets, and he has not quite got the money for them yet.
And as chat correctly surmised, Cheese is apparently headed over to the ice cave.
Sure is. Fried Teeth now made his way through Titans. Oh, it's checking Titans to see what is there, which is not bad if you're like worried about gear or money because you've got warp. You can save, warp back out, and it's a quick check.
Just a whole bunch of couch cash right there.
Link getting his slab translated, which if you can do it here and you have money for other things you want, it's not a bad idea. That way you don't have to make a return trip here.
It's a good thing for any player to do. The less you end up double dipping towns, the better off you are.
Fried Teeth getting his canoe. As Luffy is done, earning that vendor money, has got his ruby and is headed towards Zarda to get his. As we've got Fried Teeth going through Titans one direction, we've got Sir Link going through Titans the other way.
Well, high five right there as they swing past.
In my head, I imagine they did. It's a friendly, hey, nice to see you here. Just kept on walking.
Sup, brah? Whoa.
Kind of, hey, what'd you get when you went to Stardo? I'm not telling you, go on your own. Which he's about to do. We'll have his canoe, and then he'll be following Fried Teeth, who's about to get his floater.
And Cheese, having warp, really doesn't have to do any part of this dungeon. He can just sit here on the eye, and honestly, eye is a great fight if he just wants to sit here and grind. So, they're a little beefy today. May not be the best grind you can take. Yeah, entire pack of warriors decided to fight and weren't able to kill the Lich off. Although, in part that's because his black belt can't swing for anything.
Now we've got Link and Luffy high-fiving.
It's like in softball or baseball when you like line the players up and they have to go down the line and they like high five each other as they go past. Yeah, yeah,
That's exactly what it's like.
exactly. Yeah.
Cheese continue to take these eyes. Took a brief minute to get his loot from there. Probably a good idea before he forgot it was there and just left without it, which I can't say I've ever done. Never. Bright teeth in ice right behind him. Seeing he's had enough of that, he has left ice and he is headed to Canary. Do we have gold bracelet money? We got enough for one. Now Luffy has his canoe.
So we're gonna slowly see each of the players begin to get in the air, just in a nice staggered row.
Yep. Link is now our third in the air. And shortly, Luffy will be in the air. It will be right behind him, and he will be in the air too.
If Jesus coming in here to Volcano, would not surprise me if he decides to actually do his grind, and he was even getting his health pots in position to do that. Like, I don't necessarily feel like he has as many key items as I'd like before I did my grind, but at the same time, he may just feel pressure and decide that this is the time he's here in the area, he can just sit on some Agamas for a little while and grind them down, especially since he has Fades and Ice 3s. This might just be his play. Like, I don't mind the Agama grind for this, I just don't feel like this is maybe the right time for it just yet.
See, my thing with the Agama grind is, and it's because I'm not as good as a player and I'm not good at black belts, but I would be terrified of like grinding my black belt up a bunch and then trying to take out carry and then losing my grind. I'm not gonna lie.
I've seen that before. I remember back in, what was it? The 2018 spring tournament, I think, we had plenty of instances where people would do a grind up to like 32, 34, go fight carry, and then carry would just be packing heat, or occasionally even she'd have death touch. And that was just the risk you took because via the meta, Volcano was the best place to do the grind at. Now, we've since usually had flags on that shuffles trap tiles and add new things and do all kinds of other weird stuff, but yeah, this is a very traditional and classic place to do the grind, and it works, but you do run that risk that a particularly nasty carry is just going to destroy you.
Yeah, Cheese is party shuffling, so I think that's what we're in for.
It is. Yeah, the risk of Death Touch is that even with a ribbon, you can't shrug off Death Touch. Now, higher MDef will shrug it off, but it still can get through.
And that Agama went down to an Ice 3.
And that Thief went down to a single punch, although it really didn't have that much health. I don't think he healed it. From the amount of health everyone has, I think he's looking at maybe a 2-man.
Maybe, yeah, but that black belt's already one-punching Agamas, so this should go pretty okay.
I think he's also realizing that they'll go down to a single quad X, because that was not a ton of health. Burn your charges as much as you can, man.
Yeah, I saw him punch it. I want to say it was 240?
Yeah, I think that was a lucky bit of crits, but yeah, it was 240.
Yeah, so they're definitely, like you said, quad Xable and going down fairly easy, so.
And I'd do quad X over Fade just so you can guarantee that, the damage or the spell kills,
Because at least then, like you said, it'll land and you won't end up in, multiple rounds.
The thing that worries me is these Agamas are punching for a lot! Like, a lot. He is going to be burning a lot of health pots on this. Especially when his black belt only punches for 100.
Yeah. Like, I don't even, like, even if I'm, like, it's not even me, just watching that makes me nervous.
Yeah. This is gutsy. He's pretty much committed himself to it, but it does feel gutsy. And he's not even getting a level every time off of these Agamas either. That's not great experience. Oof, yeah, 78 damage on there, and then the Agama gets to go again. He's lost over 100 already. This is seriously dangerous.
I'll let you keep paying attention to Cheese because he's making me nervous, and I'll watch the other three report.
That's fine. You report on their progress. I'll keep an eye out over here.
Cheese's grind is bad for my anxiety.
You don't grind cheese. You do a nice light shred on them. Now I just have Archer going through my head. I don't know if this cheese comes in grades, but of course.
So Friday did Ice, got his loot, and has gone back to Earth Cave. Link did the slab turn in, got his ribbon. Wayne did Ice and got his loot. Is now headed to Ordeals. While Luffy did Ice and got his loot and is now headed to Volcano. So we got a couple players in similar places, the other two in completely opposite.
At that point, once you have the airship and you can go anywhere, you're gonna start getting like a high amount of divergence for where the players decide they want to go. Cheese's grind is starting to go better. The Agamas are generally not hitting for as much as his armor builds up, and he's generally able at this point to one-punch the Agamas now. So this is definitely going to speed up for him, especially if he keeps getting good turn order.
Yeah, now that he's like one-punching them, it's like, okay.
We need, at this point, his big concerns is that A, Carrie doesn't hit like a freight train, and B, she doesn't have something like stun or death touch. Long as that doesn't happen, Cheese is in good shape. But you don't want to sit here for 5 minutes doing a long black belt grind and then have your guy get toppled by a nasty carry. So.
And I let you say things like that, so if it happens, I don't feel bad.
Hedging bets. He's the one that decided to come here, not me.
True. Sir Link making good use of that level, warp.
Oh, yeah.
Doing ordeals always for rolls bad when you don't have warp.
Yeah, you end up having to be like, okay, up, down, 3, down, as you repeat the teleporters to yourself so you know how to get through it the next time you have to walk through. When you don't have warp, it sucks, because it takes so much longer.
There's been many times where I've messed up so many times and forgotten where I was going or what I was doing, and I'd just say nope and reset out and start over. Because I didn't have warp and I did a real good job of confusing myself.
Roxald in chat asking if Cheese decides to duck out and save after the grind, or YOLO it. And traditionally with a grind like this, you don't leave the dungeon once you're in here, because it's longer to walk out than it is to come back. To just finish out the dungeon, because you're basically only half a floor away from Carrie here, as opposed to walking back up the, 4 or so you have to go through? Once you're here, you're just gonna finish this.
Lane getting the bottle in ordeals, also a katana in ordeals, which I think Cheese is the only one who brought a thief, so not probably gonna do much of anybody in here, because I'm not sure, I don't see him class changing or, using that thief for much.
Yeah, that's the bigger concern, is that thief has been on kissing dirt for a while. Thief is not going to get a ton of levels. He didn't even get any of the levels from the Agama grind here at this point, so he's probably, still like 14, 15?
Yeah, he was pretty low.
Like, if Cheese does check the chests, and I've been in chats with Cheese about it, it does happen sometimes where you check the chests and ordeals out of force of habit, but when you have a black belt like this, you don't care about the treasures that are in ordeals, even if they are greed chests. Greed checks. He may want a ribbon, he may check for a ribbon in those chests, but he may not check them at all, and he may not get the katana. It's iffy. If he gets it, he may just throw it on the ninja just because, if he decides to class change. But you are right. He has to want a class change, too.
Yeah, and with, like you said, checking chests for maybe like a ribbon or something, he already has that ribbon he got that was incentivized and was a slap turn in Lufane. So he may very well not check a single chest the rest of the game, because the only thing he's really going to need other than that are gold bracelets and pro rings for those mages, and he's going to be able to buy those. So
Exactly. There's no real incentive for him to check chests at this point. He's just going to check the incentive chests and be done with it.
Also, two things I want to note. The bottle turn-in was our cube, so now we have Mirage and Sky open. And also, chat earlier was asking about Brack. We have located Brack, and it is level 8 Lufane.
Chat was also asking what the scaling is like in the game today. Enemies and bosses are 50 to 200%. So, Cheese going to 42, I think is... like, it's a bit overkill for the boss scaling, but at the same time, if your goal is to make sure you get to save your grind the second you get up to carry, 42 may just be that extra bit of insurance he needs while he's here. Plus, the rest of the scene is just going to be freight trained over. And as Elastoid points out, with Fast and Temper both being off the table, a 42 at least black belt is probably your best bet to just get through this scene without stress. So bottle it to the cube, which I'm guessing Bright Teeth doesn't have because they don't have the bottle yet, but Starlink Luck does have that. Luffy, meanwhile, is going on with quite a duel right here with Carrie that I just realized they're in. This is some man mode strats here. Oh!
Oh no!
And then I had to notice it, so obviously it failed. That's my bad. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, the only person who had the bottle was Link. He's the only one who's done ordeals. Although Fried Teeth is right behind him, so he'll get his bottle, which will turn into his cube.
Yeah. That'll help with progression, and we know Ordeals is a place that Cheesenator is going to have to go to, but Ordeals really isn't going to hold much stress for him with his 42 black belt. Carrie reportedly has fast. That's really not going to be an issue when you can punch her once and she just is going to fall over. I think Carrie's going to go squish.
Very likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Link in Waterfall. About to show us what the robot has, which we haven't seen yet.
Level 40 on that black belt.
And Jesus, had enough. And the TNT from the robot.
Continuing that lovely quest chain. Yep, Cheese is out. Cheese is walking. 40 or so must have been enough for him. I mean, he's going to get 42 between the boss fights he still has to take.
Yeah. I was trying to get confirmation on exactly what his level was, but he menus faster than I can see.
Oh, she survived the first one. Is this the sleep too? Second punch goes squish, and that's all she wrote. I'm amazed she survived the first one, but hey, she dead. That's what matters.
She is, in fact, very dead.
Very dead indeed.
And about the 47-minute mark, Cheese lights his second orb.
And the back half of this is going to go a whole heck of a lot faster. Does bring up everyone, including the thief. Wants that extra run chance just in case. Puts the chainmails back on, moves the gold bracelet down to that thief, surprisingly.
While Cheese moves around equipment and gets everything where he wants it, we see Link going to check it's the herb from Narek. Our fetch quest continues. Alright, time to see what the prince has. And the prince has the adamant. Back to
more.
Dwarf
Hey, he
Cave
gets
we go.
That's nice. Sorry, I totally talked over you there.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's like, I hear from Dwarf Cave apparently. It's nice this time of year.
Yeah, and no lazy dwarves.
Why?
Hooray!
Hooray! I like lazy dwarves. They make life. He is racking up all kinds of frequent flyer miles in that part of the world.
Dwarf is like, hey, I hear you're in the area. Go do the crown.
Townspeople in all the little kingdoms and areas there, just suspicious as he flies back and forth over and over and over.
Unfortunately, with Astos' wall of text, I have no clue what we just got from him.
It was the Mazamune.
Well, that's nice.
Which, thank you for equipping so we knew what you got.
Exactly. Did he not do the TNT turn-in?
The TNT was the herb was the adamant, the adamant was the crown was the Maza.
Okay, cool. I totally missed it, so good.
Like I said, lots of flying back and forth over that part of the world.
The loot today is the bass drum up on Luffy's side.
I love that flag. Fried Teeth getting his cube, while Luffy gets his bottle, which will turn into the cube. G's not far behind Luffy, about to get his bottle.
Yeah, Cheese is making short work of this dungeon. Just raffle stomping through it. And as I said, not checking a single chest.
Nope. It's like, I got no need for what's in these boxes.
Nope. That thief is little more than a glorified meat shield.
As they often should be.
Black belt is up to 41, and we're moving on.
I've noticed, and I made the joke, but I know it's like, I don't know, I haven't taken a thief in a long time, but they definitely have their place. But I've either noticed you either have runners who usually bring one for early game for running, and then it doesn't last long for the rest of the game. Or you have the runner who brings a thief, and the thief is like their main melee character. There really is no in between.
No. The fixes that we have for the thieves now that double their crit rate and make them a little more interesting. It does make them viable warriors at this point. I know I've used them in combat before, like Chaos, as a viable warrior, because they are good. They can be really good at that, but the balance is that they don't get all the fighter armor, and they don't have as good of health growth. So, like, if you get the right things for a fighter early on, or if you decide you're going to go with a black belt, that thief is little more than, like, a glorified floor warmer at a certain point.
I played for a very long time when I started with a thief. I learned how to play with a thief. And at one point, I just stopped taking the thief and kind of back. I like my 3 mage party. What can I say?
I've fallen into that too. Yeah, I like fighter black double red or fighter red double black, depending upon my mood. It can be really a great party.
It's one of those things where it's like I have the 3 mages, so I'm used to having just 3 magic casters, and anytime that changes, or it's just like I have 2 or the fight, whatever causes me not to have that, boy, does it throw my menuing off.
Cheese is all primed and going into Sky Palace. He's going to get his 3rd orb here with probably minimal effort. Deciding to kill the blue D just cuz. You're in my way.
I mean, it's there.
You're tasty and full of experience. I'm gonna kill the eye too, because why not?
Yeah.
Like, no matter what level you're at, you kill the eye.
Yeah, Link is also in Sky, just about a floor ahead of him, but stop checking the occasional boxes.
He still wants gear for when he finally finds the tail.
That
Cheese Air doesn't care.
taking and taking fights because he has, his levels quite up there like cheeses are with that black belt. Getting the crystal from our sky incentive.
Crystal probably leading to Oxyale, so that's another fetch quest chain we have to follow. But we do also still need that key as well. Key, based on what we have still and what's available, my guess will be the crystal leads to Oxyale, and then key is going to be lurking behind. Which sucks, because when you're in this position, you really don't want to have to check both sides of C4. Fried Teeth getting their herb turn in for the adamant. Sir Link still checking chests over here, trying to find some more gear for his eventual fighter or knight party comp. Cheese and Air fought the War Mech! Cheese and Air's fighting the War Mech! Fight that War Mech. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
See, now I wish we kind of had like an official War Mech song.
I think I just said it.
Well, I mean, if that is we can make it the official.
We can make it the official one.
Well, there you go.
Okay then.
I expect you to sing it if all three of our other runners find it too.
Deal.
Although it didn't seem like he had a whole lot because he did not last long.
No.
Then again, with the black belt with that many levels, I didn't really expect it to.
Super Black Belt took him down about 3 rounds. Tiamat was probably going to last 2. Or not. That was 1. And yeah, as chat points out, Black Belt's at 42 now.
Sure is.
Yup.
Punching all the things.
That little boy was just full of experience.
She's doing the crystal turning. What does Matoya have today? The key. Which still a bit of a fetch quest, just not quite the lengthy one you said. So we're gonna head to Canary Castle. We're gonna go check and see what's there. Which should
Actually
be
better.
our Oxio.
Yeah, this is actually better, because this will just lead directly to Oxyale. Probably. Well, yeah, it has to. And that means that Tail is more than likely at the Oxyale spot, and Cheese doesn't have to check that at all.
Yep. It's one less thing Cheese has to do.
Yep. For some reason, checking these 2 chests get the worst gear possible. Oh, wow. I'm just gonna check these 2 for some greed. Get yourself cloth and a wood stick.
It also means, like, if he does the Oxyale check before going to Waterfall, that's one less thing he's going to have to do, too, because he hasn't been to Waterfall and doesn't know that the Waterfall has a TNT, which leads to the herb, which leads to the adamant, which leads to the crown, which leads to the Vasa, which he doesn't need.
Which doesn't he? Yeah, he's good. This was probably optimal pathing for him, all things considered. He doesn't get all those key item experience points that will happen if he wanted to grind some more, which he doesn't need to. He's good. He's done.
Yeah, because like he said, like he's in go mode. He's got his key, he's got his loot, he's got everything he needs to get, like you said, this 4th orb. So like he didn't have to do Waterfall. He doesn't have to do the sea check. So his routing ended up being incredibly good for the party he has.
Like, assuming his Topher goes well, which it may not, but assuming his Topher goes well, this is going to be a pretty darn fast time for the way the flag's laid out. And thank you to SpeedGaming 2 for your raid of 93 people. Come and join the fun. This is the SpeedGaming Live 2020 Final Fantasy Randomizer Qualifier for the upcoming SpeedGaming Live event, which is going to be happening later this week. This is race 10 of 10. So this is the last of our qualifiers leading into the tournament that starts on Saturday.
Sounding very professional. Much better job than I would have done.
Thank you.
High five, comms partner.
Every once in a while, I can turn on the radio voice I used to use back in the day when I actually did radio, as opposed to my normal nasally squawk.
I very clearly do not possess a radio voice.
You're listening to Final Fantasy Radio here on SpeedGaming. Every once in a while.
Much better than I would have done if I even attempted it. Which I will not be doing on air, because while I have no shame and normally I'm good for a laugh, that would be just maybe a little more humiliating than I care to be today.
I think you'd make a pretty good shock jock, Danny.
Well, that requires a lot less filter than it does a radio voice, so you're probably right.
The smooth tones of Danny in the evening here on SpeedGaming. You got me started. Now I'm just doing the voice because I can.
We have... Okay, so...
I've left you speechless. Look
No,
at that.
I got my phone. Like, crap. Where did everybody go? Okay, so...
Well, right, Kraken.
So, yeah.
Kraken's about to die. There we go.
Yes, he is. Cheese will have his... Oh, well, before... A red man had to die first. Kraken's like, I might go down, but I'm not going down alone today. Oh. Kraken with a few hit points, because he just hit him for almost 1,100.
That Kraken rolled up. You've been eating his Wheaties.
Still didn't last too long, though.
No. It's dead. It's done. It's not a big deal. Quick revive.
Well,
Get him back up. Save. We're
yeah.
done. We're fine.
And while Cheese was doing that, Link did his crystal turn in, which got him his key and then his Oxyel. So now he's headed into Onrag to take out himself a Kraken. While Luffy is on his way to getting his crystal and taking out Tiamat, while Bright Teeth is fighting a carry.
Yeah, and Cheesenair beat that Kraken basically into a fine pulp with those two punches. Buying his pro rings, would not be surprised to see him pick up his gold bracelets if he hasn't already. And then we'll be heading right off to Temple of Fiends Revisited, and barring some huge unexpected issue, this is going to be a very fast Topher. We like to joke about some of the bosses being speed bumps in here. I'm pretty certain all of them are going to appear pretty much like speed bumps. So, at the 1 hour, 40-second mark-ish, Cheesenator is the first of our runners to enter the Temple of Fiends. Frighteeth is in Earth Cave, Luffy is in Sky Cave, Sir Linkalot is in Sea Cave, so we are all over this darn map right here.
Just a smidge.
And wow, yeah, Cheesenator is like 2 full dungeons ahead of anyone else.
Yeah, Sir Linkalot getting that tail, which with his party he's gonna want. Like, he has the Mazda, which is fine. His spider can equip, but getting that tail means he can class change, and then his knight can learn Fade at 2 and Life at 3.
Nice. By the way, I think we have to invalidate Cheesenator's run. He did not use the multi-instrumentalist Sarah, so he has just the lute instead of a bass drum today.
Okay, I won't invalidate it, but I will say it's less fun.
Lastoid saying that Cheese doesn't have any revival magic. No, the Life 2 at level 5 was Red Mage learnable, so...
He also has Life at level 3.
Yeah,
so
I think both
have it. But
yeah.
Everybody in that party with the black belt dies, and, well... Here's hoping that black belt can get through with that.
He'll be just fine. So long as both Red Mages don't die, he'll be just fine. Invis 2 at level 5 was Red Wizard learnable. The Life 2 was a top slot, so it was actually Red Mage learnable.
Yes, and Life was, I think, slot 3, level 3, so it was Red Mage learnable as well.
Yeah, it was 3-3, so it was perfectly normal for him.
Like I said, he was a pretty good seed for red mages.
It's a beautiful red mage seed today. Pop by carry, do a quick heal. Just in case. A little bit of a top-up. Not a big deal.
I didn't even see him fight
And
Lich.
right on it.
Bye-bye, carry.
Yeah, Luffy just took out Tiamat. Fryteeth taking on, or about to take on Lich. Cheesenator is already through the fog that was the remains of Carrie. So Linklot a little held up here by the seafood party pack.
Food party pack doing what a seafood party pack does.
Be delicious. I mean...
And in the way.
that too. Oh, Power Bonk pickup for Sir Linklot. That is very handy for him.
Yeah, because Temper not being at a friendly level.
That's the downside of this pack for everyone. I think Link does have at least one Black Wizard or Black Mage. So long as he decides to follow the chain and get that tail, he's gonna be okay to go class change and get his stuff up. But that Power Bonk is just super helpful anyway. Kraken is already down before I can even start discussing his fight. Surprise rock galls, whee! Surprise worms, whee! You know, Cheese is just sitting there going, let me just get to this fight, and every enemy pack is like, no! Come on and hang out with us.
Okay, was having just a teeny bit of trouble with my stream load and wouldn't want to load, so I was hearing what you were saying and about things that run into and wee, but I didn't see. But now I can see. Yay, stream's back.
I mean, Tiamat has gotten punched a couple times and still hasn't died despite taking like 10 hits per. This is a chunky, fairly absorby Tiamat right here, so it's going to take a little time to take this one out. And she's hit back pretty hard.
See, Tia too is being stubborn? Never.
Actually getting that black belt down to the point where a proper nuke could hurt them. Oh, doesn't matter.
See, and this is why I like Quad X so much.
It's a great spell.
It really is.
Gonna heal himself back up, has plenty of health pots, doesn't really care. Link sitting at 3 orbs, Fryteeth and Luffy each sitting at 2.
Yeah, Link's headed to get class changed. With still like one more dungeon step, he still has enough time to get a couple of more levels on that fighter. So hopefully once turns of night we'll have it. We'll get it up between now and Topher to, stop, and then when he gets that level 3 life, that he'll hopefully have enough levels to have charges for it.
So if Sir Link is to have any chance of catching up, this chaos needs to be super nasty. Gets 2 locks off. Gets his locks off. 10 hits for 753, and then follows up with Ink from Chaos. So yeah, I don't think this is going to be all that bad. 10 hits for 558. Swirl does actual decent damage to everyone, including that black belt. Third round of punching. 10 hits for 891. Chaos is still standing. Tries to rub. Does not get appreciative feedback from anyone. 10 hits for 917, and that's it right there. 4 hits, it dead.
GG Cheeseinator.
GG. Official SRL time of 1 hour, 7 minutes, 22 seconds. Cheeseinator is the first of our runners on stream and in the room to defeat the Temple of Fiends. And we will try and get them in for an interview in just a second.
We've had a couple little bot issues, so just in case, I'm gonna send him an invite.
While you do that, I will get his scores put on the qualifier scoring sheet.
Invite sent.
Excelente. And I see our other race administrator, Gregory Puff, is already there behind the scenes, taking care of scoring before I even got a chance to. GG's to Gregory Puff there. And I see Cheeseinator is in the booth with us. GG's, Cheeseinator.
GG, cheese.
Hey, thanks so much. Yeah, I'm sure you already saw on the broadcast. I'm not in this race to be able to qualify for anything. I was just racing for fun because I like the flag set, and Seed worked out perfectly for my party this game.
Yeah, it really did. Not to mention, we comment like on your routing too. Just the way you routed it worked out really well for your party too, because the couple of checks you didn't have to make at the end of the game were for things you just clearly didn't need because you had a black belt that was gonna punch everything.
Yeah, the party generically going in, of course, I'm trying to take advantage of the fact that there's no loose items and vanilla spike tiles, so that's why I take the black belt, and then I try to skip dungeons, of course, if possible. Sometimes you don't need that ribbon or that maza. But then as I noticed the magic was rolling in, first 3, 4, 5 levels, I didn't see faster temper anywhere, and I was like, this actually might be good for me, and so I changed my mind mid-grind. I was thinking about stopping at 32, and I was like, no. We're going 42. This is one of the seeds where I can pull it off. And it was the right play.
Yeah, we were talking about that in chat, actually, about whether you were going to stop at 32 or 42, and the fact that Temper and Fade, or Temper and Fast, were basically level 7 or level 8, which we didn't even see you check. You just knew you weren't really going to get it, and so that ended up just being like, go to 42, don't have to stress about it.
Yeah, our tracker notes did confirm that on-rack slot 1 was fast and Temper was level 8 in Gaia.
Oof. Yeah, and of course I wasn't planning on really opening many chests after I didn't need any more gold, so I wasn't going to pick up a stray power gauntlet or anything like that.
Yeah, we saw Link find the power bunk in the Sharknado room. So that takes the sting out of not having Temper a tiny bit. But yeah, anytime you have like fast and temper at like level 7 and 8, it feels bad.
And then the Tiamat, like, I didn't actually expect any of the fiends to seriously challenge me unless they went, with a big nuke or something. But Tiamat made me sweat just a little bit because I was like, that's most of my HP gone.
Yeah, she made you work for it, that's for sure.
But either way, I think this is the last race anyone's running on these flags. This is the last qual, and then pods are going to be a little bit different. But I hope that people who watch this VOD, maybe people who are in the race as well, can look at this and say, like, oh, this is one strategy you can take to approach the sort of flag set. Especially with, we got another Duck Derby coming up, and I think that perhaps a few folks, even in this race, will be in that tournament.
Yeah, you're correct. Tonight is the last qualifier race, and signups for the our FFR tournament for SGLIVE are tomorrow around 7 o'clock, I believe. But the somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the default setting on FinalFantasyRandomizer.com is these flags. So if there is anybody who's watching, it's like, oh, these look fun, wants to give them a try, you can head to the Final Fantasy Randomizer to the website, and it is one of the presets.
Cool. Well, do you have any more questions for me? Because I do need to eat, so I probably won't hang around here long.
Geez, you did a great job there. You just worked right through it in just over an hour for your run. That's pretty solid right there, time-wise.
Cool. Thank you. Well, good luck on the rest of the broadcast. Thank you for doing this, setting it up, and good luck to the remaining runners on their dives. I'll just be watching from chat, so have a good night, everyone.
Awesome. Thanks for stopping by, T. Go enjoy your food.
Yep. Okay, with that, we just saw Sir Link-a-Lot light his 4th orb, so he'll probably go around and do a little bit of his shopping percent, and then we should see him enter the Temple of Fiends, and soon after know just how this is going to go for him. He is in not as strong a position just because, at this point, you don't have the freight train that is the 42 black belt.
Yeah, but he did do that bit of a grind in Volcano. He's gonna have life on that night. So while it may not be as easy of a trip through as it was for Cheese, I think, we didn't see anything too bad other than Tia 2 being real stubborn. So I think he's got a good shot at this.
His armor on his fighter is the part that concerns me, insofar as I don't think I saw him wearing much of anything besides that power bonk that was really good. Well, and the fact that Life and Invis 2 share a level, that's kind of sucky, and he only has one red mage for it, so ouch. Yeah, as Cheesenator in chat is pointing out, we didn't see any nukes and nuclears, but then it's not like the Fiends got a whole lot of a chance to cast them.
Yeah, they really didn't. Like, they could have had a lot of things we didn't see, and Cheese's black belt was like, not today.
Nah, bro, nah. I would feel a lot better about Sir Linkalot's chances right now if he had a defense sword. I don't think he does, though.
If he got it, I didn't see it, and...
Yeah. It's his evade that concerns me right now.
Yeah, and our tracker, which big shout out to our tracker Reese, who's been doing a great job tonight, hasn't marked it either, so between the three of us, we didn't see it. So I'm gonna assume we didn't find it. I mean, thankfully we've got, a red mage that has Invis 2. I'm hoping he got him Melmond.
I mean, I saw him in the greater than less than area, so I think he should have had the Vorpal along with the Mazza and the Excal. So even if, like, for instance, something causes a problem the first time through, he should be able to recalibrate and use a different sword to take it out the next time. And yeah, as chat's pointing out, we didn't see Cure 4 from any of the enemies, so that could be a problem in the Temple of Fiends, not knowing what boss has that particular spell.
Here's hoping none of them for the runner's sake. Maybe Wormek had it, and Cheese just punched him out too fast to know too.
Now, hopefully... Ooh, I don't think... I mean, even if he had fast available, I'm not certain he has the levels on his black mages to have a lot of casts of it, or any. I don't know, honestly. I don't know, he might. He might have the charges, depends.
I'm not entirely sure what level those black mages are.
It's hard to know what his chances are going to be when from a Lich fight, too, because Lich is generally pathetic.
Following the footsteps of a couple of our previous runners, fighting some Agamas before headed to carry, just for a few more levels. We do have Fry Teeth picking up fast. I believe he did. Looked like it. Which even at level 7, if I think I'm going to have even a single cast of it, I'm picking it up.
I agree with that, 100%.
Because even if, say, you don't necessarily use it before Chaos, you're going to use it when you get there.
Okay, so it was confirmed that Lich 2 had slow 2. So that takes that out of the pool. We don't have to worry about that later. And yeah, Classic Gamer confirming for us that Link does have fast charges. So that's one less thing to worry about there as well. Now we're up to the big thing. Whether or not Kraken is a gatekeeper.
Yeah, when you have the first person to go through Topher is somebody with a big old black belt, you don't always know everything.
You don't have a clue about what's coming up. I mean,
You learn a lot when the second runner goes through with a different party.
everyone in chat likes a Kraken party because a Kraken party don't stop hitting.
Usually.
Usually. So let's see what Kraken does. Kraken gon' do Kraken things. In Viz 2s, a fast charge comes off for the Knight. Power Bonk. Lock 2, slow that Kraken down. Lightning 2, chip damage, we're okay with that, and we're going to move on to the next round. Swing. 4 hits for 719. That is good damage considering how much health we think Kraken has. Another swing like that should finish it off. And as long as Kraken wants to cast spells, we're going to take that all day. Swing from the Red Mage, 67 damage. Kraken wipes the Black Mage. Swing from the Fighter, 495 or 459. Takes out Kraken. That is a big bit of concern. Relief for us, not have to worry about it.
And as Sir Link-a-Lot takes on Kraken 2, Luffy takes down Carrie and lights his 4th orb, has a little bit of shopping to do, and then we'll be headed into Topher.
Luffy, unfortunately, discovering you can't land on the tarmac there, though. That's a no-fly zone right there over Crescent Lake.
Well, Luffy, like I said, lighting his 4th orb, heading to Temple of Fiends revisited. We have Fried Teeth about to light his 4th orb.
Invis 2's come out, getting the buffs going around. Lock 2 as well, slow that Tiamat down. Fast charge as well. Good turn order and the power bonk. Everything comes off. 128 hit from Tiamat. Doesn't seem that scary. Black Mage is dead when I look away for a second. 3 hits, 104. Tornado. Oh, no. Okay, this should have life on his fighter. Hopefully he bought that. But it's going to be man mode right now. And that nuclear is a bit of an issue. Oh, and that's a wipe. Okay, so we
bad.
Keeper and Tiamat. Well, this is what happens when you don't have a freight train. I mean, in theory, we were expecting a gatekeeper to show up sooner or later. That's just how this game works. Okay, so as we watch Link do his second dive in, Luffy is on there first, is slightly ahead, but does not know how bad that Tiamat can be. I have a feeling we're going to see Sir Link-a-Lot take that fight on very differently. Going to use a different kind of strategy for it so we can get through it just a little faster this time around.
Yeah, wiping on a Topher run never feels good.
Mm-hmm.
But at least, like, going back in, you know what you're going up against and can adjust accordingly.
Also seems like Link is on a different encounter cycle at this point. Did not get those Earth Elementals and is already on to Lich, so cutting into that little bit of a lead that Luffy had. Meanwhile, Fryteeth jumping in behind, going to be another of our players entering the Temple of Fiends. So right now we're going to have our other 3 on-screen runners all in the Temple of Fiends at once. So here we have Sir Linklot coming up for his second encounter with Carry 2. Knows that Carry 2 isn't all that bad. Would be surprised if we see too much effort from him on this part. Fryteeth getting past the Phantom. Luffy about...
Oh.
Huh?
Fryteeth just got the defense in the validation check.
Oh! And I think I saw something in chat that Luffy found it as well. So, this is why, I mean, I totally understand why people don't check those chests. I don't check those chests. This is why people check those chests.
I don't check them, and I'll be honest with my goofy answer. Because anytime I do, I get a cabin or a tent or something that throws off my heels.
Yeah.
And then I'm real cranky about it the rest of my run because my menuing is awful. Well, even more awful than it normally would be. So that's why I don't check them.
you could just use auto sort.
I mean, that's true. But
I want a scream of rage, and I didn't get that from you. I'm a little sad.
Like, auto sort makes it makes a lot of sense.
It does.
But
it messes with me.
Not having with it that when I try to play with it, I play horribly.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
I mean, I play horribly anyway, so it's not really going to change that.
I mean, same, but hey, the way I look at it, somebody's got to come in last, and if it's me, it means everybody else doesn't have to.
Gonna come in last. It may as well be me.
Yeah. Link making quick work of this Topher on his second dive.
He knows. He knows what to do. I like the fact that we had Lich, Carry, and Kraken all on screen at the same time.
It was a very nice visual.
It was a good spread. I really liked it.
See, I think we're waiting on Link to heal here. But everybody's about to take on a new fiend, and we're going to get 3 different fiends all at once again.
Hey! I like how this looks. So we got a Kraken on screen. We know Kraken's not that bad. I mean, could be bad. Oh, look at that. So Kraken is bad.
I was about to say, what was that exactly?
Kraken only hit for I thought a couple of hundred against a red mage on previous time we saw them, so... Get our buffs out. Starting off with some fades. Gonna try and get through this fight as quick as possible because we do not want to see this Tiamat actually do anything bad. And we're wisely going to group heal with heal 3 just to try and keep everyone up. Every little bit helps in keeping the spider alive versus this nasty, nasty Tiamat. 8 hits for 601, that's the kind of damage we want to see. Follow-up Fade for 96 is not. Nuclear for 83, not bad. And an Ink is even better. 10 hits for over 1,000. Oh, this Tiamat's chonky. 9 hits for 700 beyond that. That'll take care of it. That's what we want. There we go. And you did buy life, so you are set to roll there. Safe and sound. And looks like he's going to use his life charges and not his life 2s to avoid burning all those invis charges he's been hoarding for chaos. Very smart play. Meanwhile, Fryteeth is up against Kraken. Oh no. Oh, that's bad. Fryteeth just lost their fighter to Kraken. I don't think they have enough magic to be able to take this out, but we're gonna see.
Here's hoping for really good turn order and such.
Yeah.
Oh, we hit that white mage for over 1,000. That's ouch. Well,
What white mage? I just see a squish.
a good effort.
And Fryteeth is back to start. So we're getting our buffs out against Chaos. Gonna try and take this Chaos on properly. So far, Chaos is being fairly kind, all things considered. Tries to rub up against someone. They don't care. Brush off his advances. More buffing, more slowing Chaos down. And a swing. 10 hits for 1,474. Wow, that's a power play right there. Red Mage comes out and swings for 9. You're doing a good job there, Red Mage. Yeah, and with that third swing there from that fighter, Chaos is dead, and with official SRL time of 1 hour, 29 minutes, 57 seconds, Sir Linklot is the second of our players on screen and in the room to finish the Temple of Fiends. And while I was saying that, Luffy was also ejected. Ouch. That Tiamat, man. That Tiamat.
She is real cranky today and taking it out on our runners.
She's a beast right there. Now, we are not going to have Sir Linklot in the room for an interview. He said he was not feeling that great. So he raced his heart out while feeling sick, earns double GGs from, I think, all of us for that. And we hope he goes to bed and feels better afterwards.
Yeah, definitely. Especially not feeling well. He did really well today. So here's hoping, like you said, get some rest and feels much better in the morning.
He's got a tournament coming up this weekend he's got to play in.
Right. Need to get in all that rest this week.
So, what do we have coming up later on, Danny? We've got a few different things, including this weekend's tournament, do we not?
We do. Well, we have a couple of big things this week. Friday night at 10 p.m. Or 10:10, because we do have the 10-minute delay. We have our Fall League Finals. Team The Quackening taking on Quake and Break. Going to be a team co-op with some mystery tri-state flags. It's going to be crazy, but it's going to be a lot of fun. See who our Fall League finalists are going to be. And then, yeah, this weekend starts SG Live. We start our pods races to see who's going to make it into brackets on Saturday. And I believe brackets start on the 12th. Sounds right. If I'm wrong, somebody yell at me about it. Which will play in to see who our winner of the SG Live tournament will be. It's going to be a real busy week next week.
It really will. And that only then leads into our Duckling Derby as well from there.
Yeah, on November 22nd is when our Duckling Bootcamp starts. Every Sunday we will have a reveal stream, which will Go over the flags for that following week. They'll be explained. The seed will be run, and then the following Monday, our duckling seed for that week will be released. You'll have a week for that week, and then like I said, every Sunday you'll get a new duckling reveal and a new seed. It'll be 8 weeks long, and then it will lead into our next duck derby. Chat asked me to say the 12th. No, if you're asking about the duckling boot camp, it starts on November 22nd. Or unless you were talking about SGLIVE brackets, and I believe pods go from the 7th to the 12th, and then brackets start on the 12th. But like I said, don't quote me on it. It's in the
somewhere thereabouts. Yeah.
It's in the tournament write-up, and as a admin, I should know better, but my brain does not remember things well.
Expect us to read.
Right.
So yes, we invite anyone who's interested in this randomizer and has not played it before, come join the community. You can find all this and more at FinalFantasyRandomizer.com, including not only the randomizer itself, but also links to our Discord and our dev Discord. And while you're there, you can come join the community, be a part of all the fun things we have going on right now, and while you're at it, come join the Duckling Derby, play in the boot camps, be a part of the competition going on in January, and have fun with your fellow ducks as they flap around in the waiting pool. Almost like I've said that nearly 10 times so far, so I have it down.
Just a few times. And like I say, you say it much better than me, so you just say all the things real nice like, and I'll just post the links in chat.
There you
And it
go.
works out real well.
Once again, get the radio voice out. For this information and more, visit FinalFantasyRandomizer.com.
I'm not going to lie, every time somebody says Final Fantasy, right? And it goes back for a while, just hearing so many people say it. Many times somebody says Final Fantasy Randomizer, in my head, I do hear .com.
It's that can.
Luffy? Oh no, that is not the fight you want to get when you are soloing any character.
Oh no.
That just goes into automatic. Oh no, it's like being just your fighter feels real bad anyway, especially going up against this Tiamat, because oh boy.
Yeah, and Tiamat already wiping out half their health before they even have a chance. And we know there's Inferno and Nuclear and Tornado in here. This is like Chaos level spells here. Are they swinging a weapon?
They are.
Okay, it was just weird data for a second, and also the fact that he's only doing like 10 damage.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna go grind. Yeah. This is the kind of boss where I'm sitting there going, you know what? I think I might just go grind to 50.
Okay, Luffy only rocking the fire in the red mage. Does he not have life on that red mage?
I mean,
he's about this
he should.
So I'm gonna. Oh, he does.
Oh,
he does no couch.
That's a bold play there, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
Now, chat commenting that he has the unpromoted party, which is true, but Life and Life 2 are both red mage learnable. Oh, this feels bad.
I quoted a dodgeball right there, and then I see the red mage go down. All I hear is, "Ouch, town population, you, bro."
I mean, he got his defense up, and she was missing. Now, if she just hit and not cast things,
yeah,
we might be okay.
And I mean, that nuclear didn't do a lot of damage, so that's a lucky break there for Luffy.
Got real nervous for him there for a minute, because that fighter was down with only 30 HP. Oh. Well, we're through Tia 2. Now we just gotta stop getting fights. Oh no!
Oh! for like stunned and then immediately gets cured. That was the break they needed for that. That was gross. And another
Oh my
fight. Oh,
goodness.
there it is. Dude, I feel for you. Oh,
Game, I said he needed to stop getting fights, not attacking with everything you got.
oh, and these rock galls are like seriously draining. But that's level 27. I mean, maybe he doesn't mind that.
And the extra HP will possibly make this, chaos fight a little easier.
You don't get to take the heal pots with you when you win the game.
Exactly. Might as well use them now. Got him. And yay, defense sword.
Okay, we're past ink from chaos, not a big deal. Rub, not a big deal. Not when you can resist it with a ribbon. Swirl, 170 damage, that's a bit of a big deal. Punch, miss, good. Power bonk. Power bonk. Lightning 2, chip damage, don't care right now. Power bonk. Keep power bonking. Quad X, not going to do anything against that defended fighter. Another chip damage to the Lightning 2. Gonna start swinging. Nuclear, that's scary. Now he's in danger zone. He's gonna need a lot of punches without a lot of stuff like hitting so that he can get through, because 130 is a precarious place to be against a chaos with all these spells. But he makes it! Holy crap!
GG, Luffy!
That was an impressive, quick end to his battle right here. Wow! With an official SRL time of 1 hour, 39 minutes, 36 seconds. Chaos is the third of our runners. Luffy Vitali is the third of our runners to make it through the Temple of Peace. Oh, well. Sorry. We'll see if we can get Luffy in for an interview.
Hey, speaking of, I think we've got him in for an interview.
Luffy! GG's, how do you feel about that Tiamat?
That Tia was playing nice tonight, wasn't she?
To Greg, who was talking to you behind the scenes, that Tiamat was basically chaos.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty nasty. When I wiped the first time in Temple of Fiends, I'm like, oh, great, okay. And then I came back down and lost like half my party right before to Kraken, and I'm like, all right, this is not going to go well. But I got lucky that the Fence Sword and the Greed Chest was absolutely clutch, and that lucky Power Bonk I found too was pretty good too. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to make it through, I don't think.
Yeah, that Defense Sword was absolutely clutch, because the way that the enemies were hit, there was very little chance of making it through some of those battles. So, Danny, do you have something?
No, like, I agree. Like, Cheese, who placed first, went through with like a 42, maybe even was higher by the end of the game, level black belt. So we didn't see a lot of things on any of the fiends because he just punched them real hard. And other than Tia 2, who took a round or two, they all kind of fell over. We got a lot of. We were all surprised by some things like Tia 2 had and such, almost as much as you guys were when you went through.
Yeah, she definitely had some nasty stuff, nuclear, tornado, and I think Inferno too. It was just, she had a nasty script, so you needed just enough HP to get through.
Yes, like I said earlier, Tia 2 was real cranky today.
Mm-hmm.
And was taking it out on you guys. Oh. Speaking of taking your crankiness out on players, Kraken just... poor white mage.
Mages are for to just die, apparently, against everything.
I mean, kind of, but he did get through, and he does have life in like 2 on that red mage. So he can bring the whole party back. And then hope Tia 2 is all kinds of most of them. Which you probably won't be. She hasn't been this whole entire seed, but fingers crossed for Fright Teeth.
We're gonna hope for the best here for Fry Teeth. Although we do know just how much of a gatekeeper this Tiamat can be. This is... Luffy, I'm interested in your thoughts on this since we have you here in the room. But, this is the kind of thing where we're all used to this randomizer. We're sitting there going, oh, you know, 200% scaling, that's not so bad. This feels kind of bad.
Yeah, with the flag set, you definitely feel a little better taking a dive at kind of a mid to low level on this kind of a party, especially with the massa, being able to swing through most anything. But, you know, you can get a bad, nasty script on these fiends, or they can roll kind of high on the HP or absorb, and, you know, you just never know what they're going to have for you. The flags were a lot of fun. I like Danny rolling some more arachnids with some nasty stuff. That's pretty much par for the course. But you know, it was definitely a lot of fun, and you know, I just enjoy playing the game.
Like, I promise, I always think happy thoughts when I roll seeds. Apparently, just not happy enough most days.
Fried Teeth finding out that Tiamat gonna Tiamat once again causing issues for them right here, and that fighter is sadly still not really cranking out the damage. I think this, more than anything, is causing the issues for them. They're not getting the fasts or the power bonks off like they need to be able to really crank out, and this Tiamat having north of 2,000 health is leaving them in a position where they're just not able to, like, really get through. Okay, so we're checking in. Oh, yep, looks like they're going again. Gonna see whether or not they decide to continue onwards. At least for one more dive, presumably. They're not quite at the 2-hour mark. They're probably sitting there going, okay, like, I did this in my first race for these qualifiers. You look at where the next to last person finished ahead of you, and you sit there going, okay, am I 15 minutes past them? Because if I'm 15 minutes past them with the way the scoring works here, it's better for me to just forfeit and take a 15-minute penalty on their time than to spend another 20 minutes trying to get through this dungeon. So we're going to see what happens right now and how things are going. So, but Luffy, anything else you want to talk about with this seed or Final Fantasy or tournament or whatever? We got you in the booth.
Yeah, this is. I mean, I took part in the fall tournament with my team, the Casa del Soldiers. This is kind of the first solo tournament that I'm sort of participating in. So I'm really happy to be a part of it. Everybody in the community has been great. Final Fantasy Randomizer, I found him on YouTube. I joined a few months ago, and here I am. Trying to learn and play as best I can. You know, Cheese has been great, and Lord Fizzlebeef and Danny, and even you, Dark Moon. You guys have been amazing. The community is very welcoming. So if you guys watch it, you love playing the game, just join up. Kind of how I got started.
That nicely put.
I'm glad you're enjoying your time here and having fun, because, you know, we want everybody who plays, like, come in and have fun, enjoy the community. And ever since you got here, you've been not only someone, like you said, you said that, you know, you enjoy playing and you have fun, but you've also been a great help. You always help. You jumped in both feet with race crew, with tracking and comms, so having you as part of the community has been a blast. So I'm glad that you are enjoying your time there.
Well, thank you. Yeah, you've been great, Danny. Ever since I came around, you got me started, got me squared away, and you know, you've always been there. So Danny's fantastic.
Danny is fantastic.
Aw, thanks, guys.
So we're up to Lich again. Yeah, see, he's swinging against Lich for only 85 damage. I really feel like he's just not getting the damage off of the spider that he needs. One hit for 57. I mean, I'm sure some of that's probably the slow 2 landing on a spider, but still, that's really bad damage. Oh, already lost a party member right there from those awful stun touch packs. Wow, this is a seriously high encounter floor right here. Wow, game.
Yeah, the fire floor seemed like it was worse than the water floor this time around, which is pretty rare, I think, to see that.
So he didn't heal his red mage after reviving them. That could have been really bad right there, honestly, because he then lost his white mage. That was starting to look a little clutch.
Yeah, I'm just noticing, like, I knew his party wasn't super high, but he is level 22.
That's low.
I've played these flags just, you know, for a little bit, just, yeah, 'cause I'm not in the tournament, but hey, I get bored. So I have played these a couple of times, and while I've done these flags at that level before and been fine, that is a scary level to be when that tier 2 is, well, that tier 2. So we're taking on Kraken 2 again. Got off 2 casts of Invis 2 and a cast with our defense sword on that fighter and the fast. Unfortunately, those Invis 2 casts did not help that red mage or that black mage.
Oh, we got a question from Elastoid in chat about seeding for the upcoming tournament. How does the seeding work exactly for the pods? So what's going to happen is the tournament is broken up right now into basically 3 groups. We have the people that have participated in the qualifiers and picked up a ticket from SpeedGaming Live for the event. They will seed in first in the order of their scores, and it's going to go across the pods. So number 1 goes to the first pod, number 2 goes to the second pod, and so forth and so on, until we reach across the line, across all the pods, and then we go back through and start seeding again. From there, we get the people who bought a ticket, or picked up a ticket, as the case may be, but didn't participate in the qualifiers. They will seed in next, and then everyone else who has offered to participate in the tournament, but neither participating, but first 2 did participate in qualifiers and then didn't participate in qualifiers, and doesn't have a ticket, will seed in from there. So it's like 3 or 4 tiers if you go like that, and it goes across the pods, starts back out at the top like a typewriter, and fills in again and again until we have 4 players in every single pod. That's how it's going to work.
Yeah, what he said.
And then qualifiers end technically tomorrow for everyone. So at 7 o'clock p.m., that's when qualifiers are done for everyone, and registration is done for the event for everyone. So if you're interested in participating in the event right now, we suggest you join up with qualifiers as soon as you can. Not qualifiers, for the event itself, as soon as you can. And just seed in at the bottom, obviously. And then we'll announce who will be in what pods, and it will be up to you to arrange with your pods when to do your racing, so come the official start of the event on the 7th, you can then start actually doing your races and getting them into SpeedGaming Live. Meanwhile, Fryteeth is once again taking on Tiamat. Let's see how this goes. Tiamat being a little kinder, we're hoping for this.
Oh no!
No! Let me go check in the race room. And yes, that looks like a forfeit. Well, GG's to Fryteeth for that. But as I noted, as per the rules, wherever those rules are, They were over 15 minutes behind at this point by the next time they finished their dive. So they're just going to take the forfeit and take the 15-minute penalty on Luffy's time, and that will be that. So GG to all our runners for participating. Teeth is not going to jump in here for an interview. They need to get to bed, they said. So I guess at this point, Danny, I think we're ready for final thoughts. How do you feel?
I believe so. I was going to say GG to Fried Teeth all the same. They kept at it, and unfortunately Tia 2 was just real unkind today. But GG to them for trying all the same, because they put in a lot. They put in the effort. They tried quite a few times on that Topper, so definitely deserve the GG.
So I want to thank everyone for watching and coming in. This has been a presentation of Final Fantasy Randomizer via SpeedGaming Live. Luffy, as our one runner here in the booth, any final thoughts you want to share with the group?
I just want to say thank you to you and Danny for doing comms tonight. Thank you to Reese for tracking and the Restream team and everybody in the Final Fantasy Randomizer community. GG's and thanks, guys.
Any final thoughts from you?
Just GG to all our runners, and thank you for running. I'm excited to see, tomorrow after we see who all's in pods and start, SG Live this weekend and see all the races, because it is going to be a real busy race for tournament people, runners, or, us who are taking care of things and racers, but I think it's going to be a really fun week. Thanks to everyone that's watching. Thanks to, SG, as always, for not only having us here tonight, but always being really great and letting us do our races here, and for having us as part of the tournament this year. Thanks to Reese, who did our tracking and stuff this evening. I just put the links in there to follow. Go follow Dark Moon and Reese, because, they're cool and you should. Definitely follow our runners, because they did great. There's links in there to join not only our FFR Discord, but the SG Live Discord. We would love to have you in both. And thanks to Dark Moon, as always, for doing comms with me. It's been fun.
It's always fun doing comms with you, Danny. So yes, thank you everyone for watching. If you're interested in this randomizer and want to see more of what we have on offer, including the links for the Discord and the Dev Discord, please come to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. This has been a presentation of Final Fantasy Randomizer via the SpeedGaming Live 2020 Marathon, our tournament, the last of our qualifying races right there. Go check out the SpeedGaming Discord as well as SpeedGaming itself. The links are, of course, in the chat as well. And with that, I think we are going to wrap this one up. The event starts on November 7th. We invite you to come watch. We invite you to come join the Discord. We invite you to come be part of our Duckling Derby when it starts up later on this month. And until the next time, which will more than likely be Friday for the last of our Fall League races, and then Saturday for the start of the tournaments, I am Dark Moon EX, joined in the booth by Danny3883, and we will see you next time.